You're listening to the Flip Houses Like a Girl podcast, where we educate, empower, and celebrate everyday women who are facing their fears, juggling family and business, embracing their awesomeness, and wholeheartedly chasing their dream of flipping houses. Each episode delivers honest to goodness tools, tips, and strategies you can implement today to get closer to your first or next successful house flip. Here's your spiky-haired, breakfast taco-loving host, house flipping coach, Debbie DeBeery.
Hey there. Thanks for hanging out with me today. So I'm really excited to share this conversation with you. I know I say that every time, but they are all really good conversations. This one is with Doree, one of our Flip sisters in Tennessee. She is taking us on her first flip journey. And she's sharing all the things that we always want to know, right? How she found the deal, how she financed it, the problems that came up, how she solved them, the profit she made, which was outstanding, all of those things. But the biggest thing you're going to get here is one of the best pep talks anybody has given us on this podcast, all right? If you don't walk away from hearing this episode totally inspired and knowing that yes, you freaking can, then guess what? You've got to listen to it again and you've got to turn up the volume because this is pure fire here. All right, let's just jump into the conversation with Doree. Here we go. So how about we just start with you telling us a little bit about you? Like, where are you? What do you do for a living? What made you want to flip houses? That kind of thing.
Hello, my name is Doree, and I'm from Jackson, Tennessee. And I work for a manufacturing facility. I am a, designer, bill of material, mechanical though, and electrical. But I'm not an engineer, just a, designer. And I remember I'm going to show my age. Back in 1984, we bought this house for $27,000. It had holes in the floors and old windows. It was built in 1929.
Wow.
And we lived in that because we just got married. We didn't have any money. We lived that way for 7 years, and then we put about $25,000 in it, and we lived in it for another, 15 years. And then I sold it for $75,000. But I loved it. I was like, oh my God, I love doing this. We just took this beautiful little house. I saw it as a beautiful house, even with the holes in the floor.
Right. Yes.
And it just was, I was like, oh, this is wonderful. So then I bought the house I'm living in now with the intention of flipping it. But I didn't get to because my sister and my mother needed a place to live. So we live in it.
Got it.
And, but when I saw your program, come over the Facebook, I was like, this is my chance. I'm going to learn how to do this. And, here I am. It's taken me a little longer to go through the program because I'm, working full time, but doing the house, it was just like, I love this. I was stressed out. I'm not going to lie to you.
Oh, for sure. I mean, yeah. Let's be honest. It's stressful.
Yeah. Because it's a learning experience. When you go into a new job, you have to get to know the ins and outs and all of the things. But with your program, you gave me a better training manual than I could have, ever dreamed of having, and the step-by-step. So, and I'm going through it again right now. I have another house I'm looking at. Nice. And I'm going to walk with the contractor Monday and see what I can do.
Okay. So you recently closed on the sale of your first flip?
Yes, I did. I sure did. Tuesday afternoon.
Congratulations on that. That's huge.
Uh-huh.
So let's talk about how it went. How did you wait. When did you close on the purchase?
I closed on the purchase of it January 14th.
Okay. And how did you find it?
Okay. So I was looking for a realtor Jody is her name. And she's been around for years, and she's called the coaching realtor. Yeah, she's big into basketball and everything. So I knew her
Very cool.
back when my daughter was playing softball.
Mm-hmm.
And anyway, so I, called her up, talked to her, and went down to her office. And then, just like within the day, she called me and she said, "Hey, I have this house. Do you want to go look at it?" And I said, "Yeah." Well, it was actually Saturday morning. And I said, "Yeah, sure." She said, "Well, I'm out and about getting breakfast. Do you want to just meet up with me and get the keys?" And I said, "Yeah." So I went in. The house is in a nice little neighborhood, convenient to a lot of things. But it had been vacant for several years because the people, the lady had a stroke and they had to move to Texas, close to her family. And then it had gotten, well, they were having upkeep to it, like spraying and everything, but it had termite damage. So I went in there and I looked at it, and then my contractor looked at it, and the termites, I didn't know this. There's two different kinds of termites.
Mm-hmm.
And I got lucky. The one that we had was just soft. They like soft material. So it was mostly just the baseboards that they ate away at.
Nice. Okay.
Well, that's like cosmetic,
Yeah.
But we still had to take, part of the wall out to make sure that the studs and baseboards and everything, what do you call it? Sill boards. Were damaged, so we did that. We did that whole house, the whole perimeter, and did that. And then when I went in and looked at the house, it's a small house. It was dark and dingy. It like had one little wall in the living room and a door, and I was like, "Oh my God, this is so like a dungeon to me."
Yeah.
So right off the bat, I was like, "Oh, we've got to get some light in here."
Yeah.
So I had windows put in, and we one of the things, like, you talk about those surprises that you have. So one of the surprises was that the air conditioner did not work at all, but the heat did.
Okay.
So I ended up having to replace the whole thing. But it wasn't bad. It was like a $5,000 because it's a smaller house and it had the ductwork and everything. So that was $5,000, but that kind of ate away at my budget because I wanted new cabinets and everything, But that was okay. I was like, okay, I'm just going to roll with this. What can I do? Because I believe in improvising and adapting to whatever your situation is. So, don't let it get you down.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, okay, I'm going to paint these cabinets, and I'm going to put a new countertop in and new appliances. We're going to, clean this up, and we put new floors in. And it was a beautiful little house anyway, so this was like a cosmetic,
Yeah.
but for a first flip, awesome. It was awesome. Yeah.
So was it listed on the MLS, or was it not listed yet and it was something your realtor knew about?
It was not listed yet. She knew about it because she's actually sold the house originally back in 1994. So,
Got it. Yes. That's why relationships are important, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Not just everything on the MLS, but your realtors know other things sometimes.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. So you bought it on January 14th. How much did you pay for it?
I paid $100,000 for it.
Okay. Now, when you first got into it, what were you expecting? What had you planned for the renovation cost to be?
I was, wow. Well, I was thinking 30,000, and I did go more, but it was okay because it turned out great. So,
okay, it was initially 30K. What did you end up spending?
I spent about 42,000.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And part of that was a $5,000 AC surprise.
Yes, but it was okay.
And then you had some termites.
Yeah, no, the termites were gone. The termites, it already had a termite contract on it.
Oh, got it. You just had to do the repairs.
Yeah, yeah.
Got it. Any other big surprises?
Well, when I first went into the house, I didn't realize that I walked out in the yard around here in West Tennessee. It's not surprising that the yard is wet,
Okay.
and especially during the winter time.
Mm-hmm.
But then the more I looked at it, after I, had bought it, it was like too much water.
Okay.
So what we did, one of the last things we did, I know you say do the yard first, but it was wintertime. We dug a dry well, what you call a dry well, so that the water will go into the dry well, so it'll collect there.
Oh, got it.
And then we covered it with gravel, because when we would go in and out of the gate, it was muddy. And I was like, that water is just standing there, So anyway, but that's what I could afford. And that's what we did, tried to remedy it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
How much does something like that cost?
Well, all told, what I did, because he did the whole landscaping, everything for me, mulching and pulling out trees and cutting down trees. I spent about $3,000. But usually when I looked it up, how much it would normally cost, it's usually like $75 to $90 an hour for somebody to do that. But I didn't go there with him. I just said, hey, look, this is what I want done.
Yeah.
And how much are you going to charge me?
Yeah. Well, $3,000 for all of that. That's a pretty good deal.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like that's pretty fair. Yeah.
Yeah. And he did some painting for me and stuff like that. So I was like, cool.
Yeah, that works. Okay. So any other surprises?
Yeah. Well, when we did have one surprise that really, it didn't surprise me. I kind of figured it was going to happen, but in the back bedroom, where I think the termites were getting in, they're the whole back wall. And it had one of those ceilings that it didn't have ceiling, it just goes up in the arches of the ceiling.
Yeah.
When we went in there, all the studs had to be repaired in that wall.
Oh gosh. Okay.
And I think what causes that, and a lot of people don't think about it, when you let vines and stuff grow on the side of your house, they will get in there and eat away. And so that's what happened. So we repaired all those studs, but really no more really horrible surprises. Actually, I just feel so blessed.
Right. Okay. So how long were you planning initially for the renovations to take? How long did you give yourself before putting it back on the market? Were you anticipating?
Well, I was thinking, okay, it could take 6 months, because you recommend your first one to be at least 6 months. But it didn't take me 6 months, because, my contractor was wonderful. He just went in there and he started doing.
Well, what I do with the 6 months is people know I recommend, not that it takes 6 months, but to at least use 6 months in the deal analyzer.
Right.
Because most people are like, oh yeah, 2 months in and out. And I'm like, let's be on the safer side and let's use 6 months.
Yeah.
And if you sell sooner, you just got a bonus.
Exactly.
But if you don't, if you have to use that 6 months, you've already accounted for it and you're not going to be stressed out and freaking out. So that's why I say the 6 months to, be more conservative, because a lot of people are like, oh yeah, 2 months, it'll be totally fine. I'm like, let's not do that. Okay. So how long did the renovation part take?
Okay. So he started like right away. And we finished, I'm trying to think, we finished right. Actually, I was finishing the day I put it on the market. I don't even know what day that was. I don't remember what that day was, but it was May. Yeah, it was the beginning of May. So we went from January 14th to like the first week of May.
Okay. Okay. Nice. Okay. That's good timing.
Mm-hmm.
So then you put it on the market and well, let me ask this. How did you feel when the project was completed and you're about to put it on the market for sale? What were you feeling?
I was anxious because I was thinking, okay, so I based it on this after repair value. But everybody, like I said, family is crazy. They're like, oh, you have to ask 200,000 for this house. I would ask 220, and I was like, you have to realize the neighborhood you're in. And, there's so many other factors that are in there. And, so they were bombarding me with that. So, I was stressed out anyway, but I calmed down totally when I talked to my realtor. And she really was leaving it up to me what I wanted to ask for it. But I was like, well, I don't want to underprice it because it's beautiful.
Yeah.
But I don't want to overprice it because I don't want to knock those people out that could afford it, so I need to be realistic about it. And I even put it on the market for less than the after repair value because I was like, okay, if I do get offers, it'll probably be up there where I want it to be. And lo and behold, it was like 10,000 over. And so I was like, and that was also a strange thing was like, I got 13 offers and they were all really close to that same price. So I took the easy one, the full cash offer, no appraisal, no inspection, they waived all of that. And I said, I need to take that. So I took it, you said, take it. So I did.
Yeah. Yeah. So what did you list it at?
I listed it at 184.9. Oh, no. I'm sorry. Excuse me. 174.9. And I got 184.9 for it.
Got it. Nice. Were you like, oh my gosh. Whoa. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So the interesting thing that my realtor, she's experienced and everything. So I had 13 offers within 24-hour period. And we went over each and every offer. And this one, she was like, she was explaining to me what each of the different offers meant.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, I got one offer for 190,000, but they wanted like 8,000 in closing.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, I'm not sure you really want to try that one because it seems like they probably may not be able to get that money and you're going to end up going back and forth with them. So this cash offer was actually for the way they wrote it was like you could have it based on your highest offer.
Oh, right.
Mm-hmm. We'll pay you based on your highest offer, but we won't go over 184.9. And so I was like, she said, well, that just his offer opened me up to get that offer. And I was like, yay, the universe is saying, yay, go for it. So I did.
Nice. Okay. So when you went under contract, was there anything that came up between contract and closing?
No, not a thing. When I knew, like I had to buy a garage door opener with 2 remotes on it because the one that I had in there got messed up. And I'm terrible. I didn't have time, but I didn't go in there, put it in, And so when I was at closing, I said, well, I didn't fasten the dishwasher. I know you say don't do this. I didn't fasten the dishwasher in. It was installed, but I was afraid I was going to mess up the cabinets because I didn't know how to do the clips.
Uh-huh.
And the lady said, we don't care. I said, the clips are there. The remote's there. Everything is there in the drawer next to the stove. I just didn't get to it. And she's like, oh, we don't care. We're going to have our handyman come in and do it anyway. But thank you so much for leaving it in the drawer, So I'm telling off on myself. But I won't do that again. I'm going to make sure, because in my mind, I keep thinking, The details, Ray, the details. You've got to do the details, and
I love it.
but
I love it. I love it.
anyway, it turned out good. Yeah.
So, okay, January to June. So 6 months.
Yeah.
Yeah. A little less than 6 months. Nice. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now you bought it for $100K.
Mm-hmm.
You put 42 into it. Oh, wait, the financing. How did you finance it?
Okay. So interesting thing, back when all of this real estate stuff was happening, my next door neighbor sold his house like in 3 days for over $100,000 over what he paid. So I knew my house had some equity in it. So I went and, per your program, you said, hey, go to the bank and see what your options are. So I went to the bank and I asked them, hey, I want to try for a HELOC. And they came out and they appraised it. So I have a $70,000 HELOC.
Nice.
And the way I financed it was I went to my local bank, an investment bank, and she was very sweet and very kind. And I filled out all the paperwork and everything, like you said, do your homework. And when the house came up, I called her up and I said, hey, I'm interested in this house and I need a letter, a finance letter saying that I'm good for it. And she said, okay, I'll get that for you. Well, she knows the realtor really well. So she just faxed it over there to her. I didn't really have to do much anything, except for closing. And that was it.
So you used like a local bank for the
Yes,
purchase?
I did.
Nice.
Right. So I purchased it and I used my HELOC for my down payment.
Nice.
And my rehab. So it's all, and it's when I got that check, day before yesterday, I took it and I put it in the bank. And now today I'm going to go pay off everything and have my little check.
Nice. So what will your profit be?
I still have a couple of little bills I have to pay, but I am estimating I will walk away with $28,000.
Not bad.
No,
not bad at all. Wow. That's 15%. Almost. Yeah. About 15% profit. That's amazing. Congratulations.
It is. Thank you. Awesome. Yeah. And what can you do to make that extra money in your year? So I'm like, my sister and I are like, well, we need to do more houses, because I want that free life where I'm not chained to a desk and,
Yeah. Yes.
So,
I do know.
Yeah. My why.
Yep.
Go see my grandchildren whenever I want. Take them to Disneyland.
Yes. Those are good whys right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what I did, one of the things that I did learn, you say go walk properties with contractors and stuff. And I didn't. I only walked with one contractor. And, I really honestly, being in the business that I'm in, usually I always get 3 quotes, that's just your best. But I didn't take the time to do that. And because I actually had the house, I didn't close on the house till January 14th, but I had since December 14th to go and do all that and walk all those and do all my due diligence. So I'm going back through the modules and I'm going to do that and make sure that, it turned out to be a real blessing, but I feel like it could have been so much more if I would have followed your program a little closer.
Well, here's the thing. You want to do another flip, right?
Yes.
So that's all that matters, really.
Right.
You do it in a way, you do your first one in a way that makes you want to do another one. And everyone's looks different. And you have like the foundation, right? From the program, you have all the foundations. And then when you go out and do, you learn so much more by doing. Like that's
right.
You can learn as much as you can learn from reading and watching videos, but the doing is so crucial. And you went out and did. And you learned some things and you decided, okay, I'm going to try this differently next time. And I'm going to, I did this great. I'll do this again. Like, that's the whole point. And you did it. You
Right.
freaking did it.
Right. I did it. And, but it's also, going through the Facebook pages and reading everybody's, experiences and everything. And then the mindset is so crucial. It really, uh, like the one where you were saying, unless they're doing it, unless they're in there doing it, and they don't mind giving you their opinion, and
They
then
sure
it
don't.
will really, really, really take away from your confidence if you know, have that person, constantly. So by you saying, hey, unless they're doing it, tell them just to go away or just shut them off,
Yep. Yep.
you got to protect your mind.
Yes.
And, yeah, doing the hard things and having the confidence, all of that mind exercise, or
Yeah.
thinking and changing your way of thinking,
Yeah.
and building your confidence. Yeah, I can do anything, it's great. It's wonderful. So,
Awesome. What did your friends and family think? Did they know you were, I guess they did because you brought them in to do some work. So they knew you were doing it. You weren't like doing this in secret.
right.
What did they think about your first flip?
Well, all of them, they are all very, very supportive. First of all, they were very supportive of me, and they all want to know how to do it. The way I feel like it, if they have a problem with me, this I'm not ashamed of it. And if they have a problem with it, then I really believe it's their problem because I think I can make this work full time. I have confidence. Yeah.
Oh, that's huge. That's huge. I love hearing that. That's the goal, full time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you have a timeline in mind or not really?
Honestly, yeah, in the next 2 years, probably. I'm getting to the point where I need I need the creative outlet. I need the learning experiences. I need all of that.
Yeah. It's good for your brain.
It really is. It's good for your life.
It's good for your life. Yeah, definitely. I totally agree.
Mhm.
Is there anything that we didn't touch on that you wanted to?
No, not honestly that I could think of. Yeah, no, that it.
Awesome. Well, what were some of your fears? I forgot to ask that. Like going into this in general, what were some of your fears?
Well, I know this sounds crazy, but it's a HELOC, and like I said, I have good equity in my house. And the fear was, oh my God, am I going to lose my house? I mean, it's a false fear because we're totally able to pay pay it, but I worry about my mother and I worry about my sister because
Yeah.
we're all together,
Got it.
and I never want to jeopardize that, but if you don't take a chance, then you won't ever realize your dreams, but they were totally supportive. So, that was good. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
Other fears, maybe not fears, but I have that, I don't know, complex. I don't know what you would call it, but where you compare yourself to other people, you know.
We all do. God, we're so bad about that.
It really is. And, I think, when I look at the beautiful work that I see some of the other ladies doing,
Mm,
I think, oh, but then I think, you know what? I can do that. I'm just, I'm going to get there. I haven't done it yet, but I'm going to
oh,
get there. I'm going to do it. But I still compare myself. I think, oh, well, I'm not doing so good right now. But that yet
yes.
means a lot.
It's huge.
Don't
Yes.
cut yourself off. Don't sell yourself short. You can really do so many more things than you allow yourself to do if you just let your fears get in the way.
Yeah.
And so you just need to push past them.
Yeah.
And like you said, you got to walk in the fear,
Yeah.
but
It's going to be there.
yeah, it's there, but it's a good thing. It's a good thing. Yeah.
Yeah. That 3-letter word, yet,
Mhm.
it's such a powerful word. Such a powerful word.
Mhm.
Oh my gosh, this has been so awesome. Thanks for your time.
Thank you for your time.
Taking time out of your day to hang out with me for a little bit and tell us your story. Thanks for sharing your story.
Okay. Well, I hope it was good.
It's awesome. Like the cool thing is you will inspire people and you have no idea.
Right.
It's really cool.
That's awesome. You made me feel so good. Thank you.
Good. Thank you. And congratulations. You did it. And keep us posted on your next one.
I will.
Awesome.
Okay.
Thanks for your time.
Okay. Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye. What did I tell you? Did she bring it or did she bring it? Such a great conversation. Thanks again, Doré. That was awesome. All right. So if you're on the sideline and you've been sitting on the sideline for a while and you're just stuck there, but you don't want to be stuck anymore, how about seeing if we're a fit to help you on your own house flipping journey? All right. We walk you through all the steps. We do all those very obvious things. But the biggest thing we do is every single day, we support you and we guide you and we help you. We are there every single day for you. All right. So if you want to see if we're a fit, go to herfirstflip.com and apply there. All right. Until next time, go out there, flip houses like a girl, leave people and places better than you find them, and make it a great day. Bye, y'all.